Hello everyone, Ace here, and today we're doing another Ace Impressions, this time for Iron Harvest 1920. This is a game that I've actually been waiting on for quite a while, and when it first came out it did have some issues, which is why I let it wait a week or two to see if there was any updates, because they actually released a roadmap. Problem is, okay, so I am getting a bit ahead of myself, so let's go back. So one of the issues that a lot of people had with the game at launch was that it was missing some features that were promised. And they actually released a roadmap saying that within a matter of a week or two they were going to implement some of these features and they were going to keep doing it on a weekly basis, basically. So, for example, one of the big features that a lot of people have been wanting, and they did promise, was co-op campaigns, which as of today they have actually just implemented. So that is something that is brand new as of the latest update. Another thing that is new is a new map. So let's actually, this one right here, the Great Wastes. Now granted, this isn't the biggest update out there, but keep in mind they plan on doing this constantly for each week. So they're going to have new maps and stuff like that, and they plan on doing this, I'm guessing, for months on end. And granted, this is, by the way, a Ace impression, so it's a first impression, so I haven't really played that much of the game yet, but well, at least not in the campaign, but I have played a little bit of the skirmish and the multiplayer. Some of you might be familiar with the live stream, for example, that I did with Kibbs and Arch. And also, by the way, part of the reason I wanted to do this a little bit later is because I know Arch did his review, so I figured might as well wait until that dies down a little bit before jumping in. But anyways, I'll go ahead and start off a new game here. Or a skirmish game, we'll be doing Deserted Tracks, I guess. And yeah. So we got ourselves a choice of a few different heroes that we can pick from. Both Reserve 1 and Reserve 2. The way this works is if you pick a Reserve 1 hero, they'll of course show up in the first line of reserves. If you pick a Reserve 2, they'll show up in the second line. So we'll actually play as Polania, have Let Koss here. And as far as the mechs, I'm going to go with one of these. It gives me 2 points to play with. So I'm thinking a couple of riflemen. That should be a decent way to start off, I think. But yeah, I'm going to go show you a match, see how the game plays. We've got medium AI here, so... This is a game that by the way, in case you didn't know, I actually backed way back when it was first announced, because this was a title that I was, and still am, genuinely curious about, and I do like this game from what I've seen so far. Basically, it plays a lot like Company of Heroes or Dawn of War 1 did. But let's go ahead and get into this.
Establishing field command. Stand by.
But as you can probably tell, it's an alternate history 1920 with mechs.
We'll build it. Engineers,
Have him go capture that.
We'll do it.
I'm doing a simple 1v1 match because it's... well, it's a fairly easy way to show you how the game plays and all that right from the get-go. So I would actually argue, some people say this is an alternate history World War II. I would argue this is more alternate history World War I, but with mechs, which is a really cool concept in my opinion.
Orders? We've captured the mark. It's not too far. We're on it.
Let's see. We could pick up this cannon here and get a free field cannon, which would be nice. However, I want to get some supplies first, and I want to start capturing some of these points. Now we can actually start upgrading these to get more resources, and once we have more oil, we can upgrade this one as well.
You name it, we'll build it.
The stockpiles,
We'll put these to good use.
the iron stockpiles give you a free supply of iron, which comes in handy. Got ourselves some...
Fine.
Alright, so we've gotten ourselves another iron mine here. Yeah, your two big resources in this particular game are iron and oil. And you, of course, gain them by capturing these resource buildings. Okay, so we do have an enemy.
Building upgrade complete.
Looks like riflemen, and they're trying to capture the gun, which we can go ahead and let them do,
More sandbags to fill?
because we do have infantry mostly right now, so they would have a disadvantage against us at this time.
What can we do?
I'm going to go ahead and get myself some more engineers.
Yes? That will give us cover.
Building upgrade
Name it,
complete.
we'll build it. Engineers do it
Moving.
better.
Looks like a good spot.
Alright, so they're going to try shooting at us.
Heads down.
They did take out one of my
Move
dudes,
it.
but if I can get around them here, they'll have trouble
Leading
hitting
the
us.
way.
Need something done.
And upgrade
Careful,
these guys to
Rhinestone.
grenadiers, so that'll be nice.
Get them.
Actually, let's go ahead and engage in melee,
Bastards.
because that'll probably...
Our weapons are useless.
We're ready. Moving out. On the move.
Orders.
Alright, so I'll actually have these guys fall back, but instead,
Catch this.
I'll have a grenade tossed on them.
Whatever Polania requires. We're ready. Engaging target.
Rifles back from the front.
Alright, so these guys are pretty badly
Rifles
banged
all
up, so we'll
reinforced.
reinforce them. And we will build a workshop, which is how you build your mechs.
We're taking fire. Hurry.
Good news about these guys is
Kill them fast.
I'm pretty sure we'll be able to out
Let's go.
DPS the gun here if we angle and
Engaging
maneuver
target.
out of its field of fire here, so that's good.
Enemy unit spotted.
What is it? Leading the
We're
way.
ready. On the move. Right away.
Multiple
Take
enemies
cover.
spotted.
Stay sharp fast. Someone ordered grenades. Let's go. Let them have it. Make it quick.
Building finished.
Alright, so we've beaten them.
You have orders?
Now I could go and start building some of those things, but I think for now we'll go with some good old-fashioned mechs.
Strażnik preparing for battle.
These things here are going to be some light mechs that are good against infantry.
We're receiving replacements.
Get some
Ready.
reinforcements.
Moving.
And we'll start capturing some of these
Moving to
points.
cover.
So we'll go
Ready
for
action.
this
Multiple
point
enemies
here,
spotted.
Uh-huh.
and we'll go for that point there as well.
Chew up, Polania's enemies.
Multiple enemies
Ready to
spotted.
move. Let's keep moving.
We need some more, some engineers apparently.
Finally.
How can I serve Polania? Best to not sit around.
These guys, this mech here is going to absolutely mess these guys up, so that's good.
We're taking fire.
This bump is ours now.
Keep firing.
I love how they also still implemented a cover mechanic system, because that is kind of nice that they've done that.
Extraction is ongoing.
Upgrade that mine,
Contact.
Keep it flowing.
and I'll upgrade the oil pump there.
Pressure steady.
Grenadiers ready.
Now that we've gotten that taken care of, we'll get some more iron,
Ready to move. Let's keep moving.
keep the mech moving forward, and while we are at it, now's a good time. Actually, no, not quite yet, but soon we'll be able to get ourselves a barrack,
Beautiful Polania.
Let's get to work.
and I'll be able to upgrade that to get some exosuits, which are actually pretty nice.
Moving.
So we can pick up a weapons crate here to see if there's any goodies there.
How can I serve Polania? Best to not sit around.
Building upgrade complete. Building upgrade complete.
What is it?
I could turn those guys into a medic, so that would be
We'll
interesting.
get there quick.
They'd be able to
Building
heal their
finished.
buddies fairly easily.
Uh-huh.
I think what I'm going to do, however, is just leave them as riflemen, because they're going to have better weapons, at least against infantry.
Ready to move.
Okay, so it looks like the bad guys I'm going up against have upgraded stuff, so
Our barracks will accommodate more options.
go ahead and get some exosuits.
What is it? Get to cover.
You know, I really do like the idea of an alternate history World War I game, although it's been done quite a few times, actually. Or at least in comparison to, say, regular World War I themed games. Because I know... Oh, time to fall back, or do a flanking maneuver.
Don't let out! What? A little busy here!
Building upgrade complete. More
So yeah, once this
Polania
guy gets
systems are
leveled up,
Serve them up!
over there.
got that.
Don't Serdik, under fire! That's all of them here!
Alright, so that's another enemy squad out of action.
Grenadiers ready.
I'll be able to capture this point now as well.
More volunteers?
Let's get some exosuits out.
To build armor.
More iron for Polania.
Operating as expected. Keep it flowing.
So far, yeah, this game is, in my opinion, pretty good. It's not completely perfect. They do, I think, need to have more maps, but the way they've got it working so far is
Reporting for duty.
showing some promise.
Let us do the heavy lifting. We're mobilizing.
There we go. I'm pretty sure that the exosuits being infantry can still capture stuff.
My guns are ready!
Cleared. Where to...
Ready. Moving out.
Moving.
We got another squad of enemies going back and forth there,
New
so
orders for us? Sounds
we
good.
clearly have these guys on the run.
Let's keep moving!
Follow
This
up.
is another thing I should mention I think is a fault of the game. The difficulty mode for medium seems a little bit too
You
easy.
name it, we'll build
Workshop
it.
reporting.
Because this is a pretty
New recruits.
easy pace I'm going at. I'm still managing to
Ready to move!
just take over the entire map from these guys.
Grenadiers ready. Understood.
More volunteers.
But yeah, you have other types of infantry as well, such as the anti-armor gunners here and the field cannons, which are all level 1, so you don't need to upgrade the barracks, but these are
How many?
useful for fighting different types of stuff. These guys don't do as much damage as I would like them to, unfortunately, but they are mobile, so you can get flanking shots and hit the enemy mechs and whatnot in the flank for extra damage. So they still can be kind of useful. Mortars are extremely effective against fortifications, which are actually, I found out, extremely effective in the multiplayer for this game.
Exosuits moving out.
No sitting around.
Machine guns, self-explanatory,
For Polania.
and it has both regular and heavy variants for you, in case you're curious on that, apparently.
Yes.
Alright, so it looks like we might have...
See, we're
Ready to build
winning.
armor.
There are no
Rather
match
sharp
for
means
Polanian
better
warriors.
legs.
The enemy
guns are
is
ready.
capturing our pump.
Yeah, we're not going to let them take that.
Best to not sit around!
But while we're at it, we'll deploy the exosuit just to annoy the engineers that are over there.
How can I serve Polania? Let's
I'm kind of actually easing up a little bit because I want to be able to...
We're under fire. Yes, we're ready.
Alright, so this should be a good spot. We'll just toss some grenades.
Compliments of Polania.
And this guy can't fall.
Kill them fast.
Got a target?
Have them go into melee.
Stravnik, ready to move! Target identified!
Building upgrade.
Friendly fire, by the way, is on, so we're going to have to be careful about that.
Let us have them. We're ready.
We'll just take care of these engineers there. There we go.
Taking fire.
Now, it does take resources to actually get reinforcements, so you can actually drain the enemy of supplies enough that they can't even... Oh, that's a problem. Let's fall back.
Keep moving!
Make it quick.
They're shooting at us.
We're not dying today!
I'll just fall back.
Workshop reporting.
And besides, I've got some very special goodies in the form of some super heavies I can start deploying very soon.
Did
Actually,
something break?
Cancel.
let's use the reserve system. It'll give us 2 units coming in at roughly the same time, which is nice.
The enemy is taking our mine. The enemy is taking our mine.
So it looks like they've got some heavy gunners there, some flamethrowers, and regular riflemen along with
Riflemen
engineers.
regrouping.
Yeah.
I'll just
Rifleman
reinforce.
My
reinforcement ready.
guns are ready.
Now with the heavier mechs, like
To return to the
actually we
field.
can repair it like this.
Huh? We're listening.
Multiple enemies spotted.
I fight for the Republic of Polania.
Polanians need help.
Workshop reporting.
Now I can get my super heavies out, which is kind of what I was waiting on.
Multiple enemies spotted.
Take me to the fight.
They're gonna try taking some of these points, which is fine because I've got
Is capturing our
enough stuff that I should be able to mess them up really good, regardless at this point.
The time has come.
Stay sharp.
The enemy is capturing a strategic position.
That's a flamethrower, so I need to fall back.
Brothers,
Move it.
We're off to a good start.
As expected.
what is it? Just try and stop me.
Not a strategic position.
Alright. Just make that group 1. We'll
Multiple enemies spotted.
First. Rifle squad.
A unit has become veteran. The enemy is taking our mine.
and that took care of that.
Yes. Grab those shovels. Fire.
Now you do have to be careful with the super heavy mechs because they are extremely vulnerable to enemy artillery pieces or field guns, especially if you're trying to fall back.
The enemy is capturing a strategic
The guys do
position.
the heavy
Our
lifting.
mine is
Sure
lost.
thing.
Am I needed?
Alright,
We've taken the position.
Take me to the fight.
so this is a pretty good position we are in right now, so let's go ahead and see if we can build another one of these tours. Not quite yet, but we should be able to
The
soon if we're
enemy is
lucky.
capturing a strategic position.
What is it? The time has come.
Hello.
This. Just try and stop me.
We'll do it.
Just point me at our enemies. Ripples. Oh,
We've lost a strategic position.
Yeah, they took that back, but that's fine. We are still
Workshop reporting.
messing them up really good. And it looks like we've reached the pop cap in right now, but I think we can increase that, so...
Am I needed?
This mine is ours.
So the heavy gunners there are going to have to fall back, because they're not going to be able to withstand this kind of
Go on.
firepower.
Time to get moving.
And we can even destroy these resource points if we want, but at this point, I might as well just... There we go.
Aggressive fire. Am I needed? Just try and stop me. I'll beat them back.
Execution has got Polania's enemies.
So we've messed up the advanced barracks pretty good here. They have a medic squad here, which is going to instantly get deleted almost. And deleted. And you can even pick up their weapons and equipment.
Just try and stop me.
So, yeah, like I said, the game is pretty decent from what I've seen, but it does have issues with things like
We'll do it.
the medium difficulty not being high enough. I think there needs to be more maps, although they are, of course, working on that constantly to get us more maps, so that's nice. Personally, I think they should have waited until things like the co-op campaign were ready first, but since they are actually implementing them this quickly, I think that is... I think it can be somewhat forgiven, although not entirely. But the big question is whether or not the game is worth your time. And for me, I think it actually is. Like I said, I wanted to make sure to wait until... I wanted to wait until the first update came out just to see if they were going to stay true to providing that co-op campaign update. But since they have... yeah, I'm actually kind of happy with this for what they're doing right now. It's not perfect, obviously, but it is showing very real promise for what they are going to be doing in the next couple of months, and it is worth the asking price right now, I would say. So that has been my Ace Impressions of Iron Harvest 1920, and I hope you guys have found this video interesting. But in any case, this has been Ace. Hope to see you guys again soon. Take care. Ace out.